Okay,
Hey guys,
serious
what's
face.
Layla. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. I am not alone. I am joined by the lovely Layla Fox. Miss Fox, how you doing today?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Layla, we're back again. We're back again with the same video title 3 times in a row because this is part 3 of every champion that we'd max in the game. No, zero, nada questions asked. Layla, where did we leave off anyway?
We're on Demon Spawn. So guys, today we're talking Demon Spawn, Undead, and Dark Elf.
Demon Spawn, Undead, Dark Elf. Before that, pause your video for a moment and go ahead and YouTube search Layla Fox Nation and give her a subscription. She has all kinds of great content. A lot of shard pulling lately, Layla.
Yeah, it's not my fault. It's Raid's fault. They keep giving us these things back to back like twice a week. It's not my fault, guys. Come on.
I'm such a degenerate that all these events, I'm like, another event?
Love and happiness. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I want to do every day for the rest of my life?
Well, you can't forget
That's
too, in
awful.
Raidzilla, they did say Shard Party where Layla at, so now I have to obligatory do all this.
This
Come
is
on
true.
now.
This is true. And you stream every single day on Twitch, so I'll have your Twitch information linked as well. All right, Layla, let's start out with Demon Spawn here. Wow, where do we start? This is a stacked category.
I don't even. It
Basically,
is. This is
yeah.
stacked.
Why don't we just draft them up again, like we did last time? Almost like we're picking them in a draft order. So let's start with the legendaries. You can go first. Who would you max? Everybody?
Great story. Compelling and rich.
Do we just start on the left and go with Prince Kaimar?
Yeah. Let's do it. So Prince Kaimar
I mean,
is a boss player, man. This guy is he's the best. I love Kaimar, right? He's one of my favorite legendaries in the game.
Yes, he is absolutely amazing. He actually was my first legendary from a sacred, so I got so lucky and got him maybe like 2 or 3 months into the game.
He was my
But
second.
I also didn't know how good he was.
He was my second.
And he was your second. Nice.
Yeah, and I
that's
thought
really
he was
cool.
kind of crappy too. I remember like I pulled at him. I'm like, I don't think this dude's any good. You know, like what is this seal of magic thing? But yeah, I mean, seal of magic makes him super unique. Resets the cooldown of all ally skills, and then he has one of the best arena abilities as well with the arena aura on the A2. So yeah, man. I mean, Prince Kaimar. I mean, it's hard to say he's the best in Demon Spawn because Demon Spawn is so stacked. Do you have Tyrant?
It is. Oh my gosh, yes, I have Tyrant. I actually have 2, and I got Tyrant really early in the game. I know, I'm telling you. Like,
trade?
tradesies, you want one?
Yeah, I do.
What do you got for me? I need like a Duchess or something.
No, you can't have my Duchess.
What?
We are not gentlemen, yo!
I have 3 Lord Shazars. You can have one of those.
No, I have one of those. I don't want one. I already have one.
Why do you like him so much?
Oh my god, what's not to like? I mean, right there. AoE
Yeah.
HP burn. I mean, dude, I've been using them in Spider, I think, since day 1.
Yeah,
Like, nope,
I really
he's
want
just been in
Tyrant.
there.
Yeah, I mean, newsflash, guys. If you want to fast forward 10 minutes or whatever, we're going to say yes to almost every single one of these legendaries.
Yeah.
Countess Lix. Yeah, if I pulled her, no questions asked. I love Countess Lix. The Mire of Misery. I love the name of this. Mire of Misery. 3-time, decreased speed, decreased turn meter. And this time dilation attacks all enemies. Block active skills. Decreased cooldowns of all ally skills. The mini Kaimar built in. Except this champion on a 5-turn cooldown. She is so good. Do you have her?
I wish I had her. I don't. I got her her boyfriend, Astralon, but I don't have her.
I don't have her boyfriend. I only have her.
We're just friends, so don't go.
I like her better than Astralon. I think she's amazing, personally.
I know, definitely. I feel like I probably would have been able to clear Demon Spawn so much quicker if I had had her. Demon Spawn took me forever to clear. Faction Wars.
She's amazing. She's a really, really cool champion.
Yes.
Next up is a champion that everybody should have eventually in the game, and that is Drexstar Blood Twin, an automatic max out, especially after Doom Tower was added to the game, right? Because he's good against like half the bosses, maybe even more.
I mean, I use them everywhere in Doom Tower. My gosh.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like a
definitely, I
super
agree with
carry.
that.
Do you run him in Lifesteal or what is your build on Drexstar?
I've tried a couple things. I did do Lifesteal. I tried Stalwarts. Like, I've tried a couple different things with them just for fun to see what works out. So right now, I do actually have him in Lifesteal, and I think 2 broken pieces other than that.
Okay, I run him in Lifesteal too. He's got that nice heal already on his A1 as well. If the target is under HP burn, which helps him out against bosses. And really, this passive is just one of the best in the game. Everybody should farm Drexstar Blood Twin. You can get the tokens in the Tag Team Arena Bazaar. Are they called tokens? Tokens? Medals? Gold bars. Gold bars. My
Gold
bad.
bars, yes, that's
There's
it.
too many resources in this game now. I'm losing track.
I know, and now we got the clan coins.
Yeah, clan
I don't know,
coin-
guys.
come on.
Clan coins, right?
Come
Clan
on,
shop,
that's
clan
you,
coins.
yeah.
I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
they're. Clan gold,
Yeah,
the things.
yeah,
I don't know.
gold. I think.
Gold.
Next up, Canderfon. Do you have him?
I do not. I do not have Canderfon.
All right, so Candy, I don't have him either, and boy, I pulled
that,
him
yeah.
a 10-time event for him. I would love to have him. He used to be the worst legendary in the game. Do you remember that? Like one of the worst legendaries?
I do remember that. And then I remember when he got buffed, how
Yeah.
excited everybody was. I do remember that, yeah.
Everyone's like, out of the vault for Canderfon. And
Yep.
boy, is he worth it now. Just a really, really good nuker, especially for the arena. Force Affinity, would love to get my hands on him, but I definitely would max him. He's got a nice little hairdo there. I didn't even notice that about Candy there. Cool.
Actually didn't either, so he pointed that out.
Right? He's got that. Cool.
Well, whether I'm too young to have him or not, I've got him. I'm a woman.
All right, anyway. Sissia Flametongue.
Oh my god, she's gorgeous. I don't have her and I want her so bad.
Oh
she's so
my
amazing.
god, she is. I released a video last week called the top 5 damage dealer, my top 5 personal favorite damage dealers, and she's right there at the top of the list. She's so incredibly good, so good. She gets the extra turn. She places the HP burn on her A3, so you can go AOE HP burn. And then AoE with the A2, which instantly activates HP burn debuffs on each target and decreases the cooldown of HP burns by 1 turn. So on
She's
3-turn
ridiculous.
cooldown, it's damage on damage on damage on damage. She's one of the best just sheer DPS champions in the game. Man, I love her. All right, Vassal. Nobody in the game has him yet. So I guess, I don't know. For me, let's see. What does he do? I forget what he did.
Yeah, nobody has them yet. Is
Nobody
anyone
has
actually
it.
even collecting yet? Is anyone
Him?
collecting his fragments? Yeah.
No.
I wonder, is he even collecting?
No. I mean, I'm like only 2 or 3 days behind. I've only missed a few days. And I'm not on him, or am I on him? Let me check. Who am I on?
Yeah, I'm actually curious. If anybody watching, are you guys collecting his fragments? And how many do you got?
All right, what do I have?
He's the
going
last
on
one,
here?
I think, right?
Yeah.
He's the last one in hard.
He is the last one. Where is he? There he
Right
is.
there.
I am on him. Okay, so I have
You
31.
do, yeah. There you go.
So,
Okay.
So we'll get him eventually. He'll be the next one up. But let's go back to see how good he was here. So Vassal of the Seal is his name. He's got A2, True Fear, Decrease Attack, 3-turn cooldown, 100% land rate. He's got the Balance HP allies. And then after, he grants an extra turn. I think it's pretty good. Receives less damage from certain factions. I don't really like that. HP in all battles. I don't know. What do you think, Layla?
I agree with you. That's kind of weird that they've been adding with the newer champions, like those weird faction conditions.
Yeah.
I think you and I talked about this last time. It makes me wonder what are they trying to plan for in the future? Like what kind of content are they trying to do where they keep adding this as these newer champs come out? It just makes me wonder what they're thinking, what they're planning, because it's weird.
That is a very, very good observation because they are adding a lot of those champions.
Yeah,
it almost makes
recently.
me think they'll have like maybe some sort of a dungeon or something that you can only use a certain alliance, because it seems to be alliance based, the
Right.
Galaean Pact, is that how you say it? Talarians? I don't know. Nyrisian? You know all the lore. How do you say this?
I just say Nyrison.
Okay.
Nyrison.
Nyrazon Union.
Anyway, Vassal seems pretty good at crowd control, damage mitigation, good healer as well. So I would say I would probably max him out. No questions asked. What about you?
It sounds like he could be pretty useful for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't,
so I
like,
figure
blow
why
me
not?
away, but yeah. Oh my God, Wither the Crowned. Do you?
See,
any
I call
thoughts on
her Wyther.
Okay.
I call
all
her
right.
Wyther. Wither
Okay.
Wyther.
Wither or Wyther?
Wyther.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
Do you like her?
I do. Now, what's really funny with her, I don't know if you guys remember, on Christmas, they had a 10X for her. I literally pulled her by accident maybe a day ahead. And I was like, what happened here? I didn't expect her.
There you
But
go,
it was
right?
great. And, I built her. I love her. I've tested her out with some other champs, too. Like, Pardon. She actually
Okay.
pairs really well with him.
That's heals
And I've
on
tested
heals
her.
on heals.
Yes, that's the thing. And turn meter. So again, the two of them they work so well together. It's just like turn meter after turn meter after turn meter and heals.
Yeah.
So she's just so much fun to add in.
Yeah, and I
I love her. She's awesome.
I love the sword through her, the impalement here of the sword through the chest.
It's an interesting design, yes.
It is very interesting. I kind of like it. She is so annoying to deal with in the arena. Have you gone against
that
her?
is true.
I'm not too proud to admit it. I was just kind of arena farming the for the Nari the Lucky or whatever for the tournament event today, and oh my God, I went against a team. It was Siphi, Rhodos, and Wither. It was only a 3-person team, and I'm like, easy auto click, and they smoked me. because these heals are just insane. And she's Force Affinity too, so a little bit difficult to kill. I had a magic nuker, but I thought I could just roll by him. Anyway, she's really good. I'm big fan.
He's definitely much more tankier than we would give her credit for.
Absolutely.
She's really, really good.
Very tanky, Force Affinity, very fast too, 108 speed. Are you kidding me? Man, she's really good. One of my faves. What do you think about the end boss of campaign, Mortu Macabre?
I don't have him, but what's so funny is it always seems like he wrecks us way more in campaign than we ever do with him.
Dude, I agree 100%. Whenever you go against this dude anywhere, campaign, he's in a couple of Doom Tower things. He unlocks peril every time, man. Every time.
But we can't.
We can never do it. When I'm doing it, it's like, okay, I can't wait for peril, and it never comes. It never comes.
Right.
I don't know how you feel about this guy, but I think I would max him. Pretty much no questions asked. And I know that for a while, he was like seen as one of the, worst legendaries out there, I would say. They did buff him a few times, trying to make him good. They increased the chance of the peril, increased turn meter. Peril's a great ability, can basically one-shot anybody with a denial revival, but he has a speed order, all battles, same as Lysandra, 24%. And an AoE ×2 with block buffs is really, really nice to have, especially for a Hydra clan boss. So for those reasons, I would still use him.
Yeah, I think he's still usable. Like I said, I just find it so funny that, we can't have the luck that this one does in PvE, no matter where you go.
I know. Unbelievable. Lord Shazar, the guy that I'm trading you for.
No, you are not. I already have one.
You thought that I would sit and take it, but not this time.
Lord Shazar. I would not, he's the only legendary so far that I would not max out, no questions asked. And I put my money where my mouth is because I have him and I have not maxed him out.
Mine's also 50, so I agree.
Okay, so bombs just aren't meta. But if they ever become meta, they've tried, Layla, haven't they? Just not enough for me, not enticing enough. If they ever become meta though, I think Lord Shazar will be insanely good.
Yep, it's just, I feel like, to agree with you on that too, is I feel like there's other speed leads and other usefulness you could get to. Like if you have your arbiters, if you're lucky enough to get like a Gorgorab, or if there's, I just feel like there's more useful champs that you probably could use as your speed leads instead, which is also why, like I said, I haven't even bothered.
Yeah,
16
he does have this.
by myself.
You're right. He does have the best speed in arena and the entire game at 32%. But for 2 extra.
But to balance it out,
yeah,
that's what I mean. Like you're balancing what you're getting with the other champs. It doesn't pan out for me anyway. Not yet.
Man, it's cool that he has this ability where he can get extra turn as well. I don't know if he was a little bit faster. Or if he had like a passive like this, like places a block debuffs, grant extra turn, or like, well, you won't need extra turn, will you? But if you had a passive like that at the start of every turn, a la like Necret or Hegemon, I mean, that would make him insane. I don't know if that's too big of a buff, or I don't know if they just need to work on bombs, but either way, we would not max him out. Talk to us about Duchess.
Oh God, I don't have her.
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
I got lucky. Sucks. At least I pulled the epic. We'll talk about the epic later, but at least I got the epic reviver that helped me to clear Faction Wars.
Yes.
But, geez, at least it's another option. But yeah, I don't have Duchess, and God, I wish I did.
Okay, well, she's, I won't rub it in, but she's one of the best champions in the game.
I know.
We have speed in all battles. We got one of the best revivals in the game. We have Veil, increased attack, block debuffs on a 4-turn cooldown on her A2. She's just a tremendous champion overall. But I should probably mention one of the best parts. Decreased damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25%.
That's insane.
Bosses. It's really, really nice to have. Basically a built-in stalwart set for all your champions almost, right? Against, at regular AoE attacks. So, love Duchess. She's a no-brainer. Listen, Krutraxa or Anithwi, we don't have to go through everybody here. Would you max both these champions? No question asked. The only 2 voids, and I gotta say, Layla, they're underwhelming compared to everybody else.
I know that's what's hard. If you try to compare them to everybody else that's in the faction, like I do have Inithi and I haven't maxed him. He's 50 for me. Granted, I'm sure, he could be so useful in Ice Golem with his block revives, right? Like I think that's where a lot of people really do like to use him. There's at least usefulness there, but yeah, compared to everybody else that's in the faction, that's just iffy,
Yeah.
And like I haven't.
Yeah, listen, like his AoE leech is cool. His triple hitter deals a lot of damage. To your point, nobody that he kills can be revived, period. He has almost 18 or 1,700 base attack, something crazy like that. And he has attack in all battles by 33%. But his multipliers suck, like he doesn't deal as much damage as he ought to with those base stats. I guess I'm a little bit bitter about it. I've hated on him almost every time I mentioned him throughout the entire history of my channel. And inevitably, there's a few people in the comments. I love you guys. I apologize. But they take a lot of offense to it. They really love Inithwi. I'm just not a fan. Give me his brother all day, every day. Drexthar. Kratraxa, though, I am a big fan of. It's really cool to be able to kill somebody, grant an extra turn, and then kill somebody else in the arena with their kid. But outside of arena or on a nice ally attack team, kind of a little bit one-dimensional.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I don't have her, but yeah, it definitely sounds like that.
Nice to have a 4-time hitter on the A1. Again, good for, I would max Kratraxa. I would not max Inithwi. All right, on to the epics. Boy, we've been, let's go ahead and instead of going down the line, let's talk about, again, only champions that we would max, no questions asked. You can go first, Layla.
So for me, I actually really, really like ACAC.
Jack, I don't know what we're talking about.
ACAC the Wanderin.
Okay. That's how you say his name, huh?
I say ACAC. What do you say?
I say Achak.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Ashik the Wender.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Achak?
Well, geez, I mean, again, I use this one in Spider. It's in my fast Spider 25 team, again, because of all the heals. Like, the heals are insane that you can get off of this champ. Just again, right there, heals allies based on the HP burn. Because again, like I was saying, I have Tyrant as well too. So it's so many burns, so many heals. I love that. And then of course the turn meter fill there too. You see turn meter of allies when it's a freeze instead. And she also freezes too. So we're boosting turn meter on top of the heals. It's just insane. Such a good champ.
I agree. Really cool to see him like paired with Mordecai on Spider. Just an insane dynamic duo. So totally agree there. I'm gonna go with Allure. How could you not? I have 2 Allures maxed out. I think that she's one of the few champions that I would advise building 2 of, because she's that good. Having 2 of these can just shut down bosses from ever taking a turn. One of the best champions, if not the best champion against Fire Knight in the entire game because of this A1 ability. You can even shut off the A3. You don't even have to use it. Or the same thing with the A2 if you want to, but she can help you in waves there as well. So yeah, I don't have to belabor the point. I love Allure.
I mean, I think a lot of people do. And realistically, like this conversation comes up quite a bit. Is I feel like you could even get away with not really booking her most times too. Because basically you're just using her A1. Like
right.
It doesn't really matter. You don't really need that extra damage. You just want the decreased turn meter. That's it. So you could save yourself the books on that and still just have an awesome champ right there.
Yeah, speed, accuracy, and then hope you can keep her alive and she gets the job done. Yep. That's really it.
Yep, exactly.
Who we got next here, Layla?
Ooh, Umbral.
Yeah,
let's go with my girl, Umbral.
Good choice.
Definitely my girl, Umbral. Her provokes. I mean, come on. So she's one, again, that really helped me be able to clear.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, she's
very useful.
She's incredible. She was one of the first epics I actually maxed, and I love this A2 with block buffs on a 3-turn cooldown. Really good for a Hydra clan boss, but obviously she's known for the A3 there. So
yes, the unkillable block active skills, all of that, just awesome, and a provoke.
Absolutely. Did you know that you can put her in? My viewers can share if you don't know, but you can either cleanse the block active skills off of her with like a Sky Touch Shaman or something. Or a Battle Sage, or any cleanser in the game, Cardio. Or does she block it with immunity gear? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Guys, leave us some comments if you know the answer. Curious.
Let us know. So there's a way around the block active skills. All right, next up, I will go with Magnar. I love
Don't have him.
I know. You still haven't gotten Magnar? He was just on a 10x.
No. I know. We're trying, man. I'm trying. I can't get him. I had him once, and then I did the fusion with him, and then, bye-bye.
Well, we'll keep it short and simple. He is a beast for the arena. Percussive Pound can basically kill anybody. He's an HP-based champion, so he can fit on a go second team as well. I just love Magnar. All right, that's it. Who you got? Anybody else here?
I'm gonna. So I said this before. Is if you don't have Duchess, I feel like Door might have. Yeah, you knew where I was going. I feel like Door is kind of a must, which was the case for me because again, like I said, I don't have Duchess, so I had to 60 Door, and I don't regret that.
He's a big fella.
he's a big.
I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky. I like 'em
slug, demon slug thing. Man. I don't know what this is.
He's kind of cool. It's kind of intimidating behind me. Like, what's up, Door? How you doing, man? So you're right, though. It's nice to have that. There's not a lot of great support champions outside of Wither, and Duchess, and having a reviver is so key. to add. So great call out there. Let's see. Who else would I do no questions asked?
I don't know. Like, you know what? So I will tell you, I tried Vildrax and I regretted it.
Yeah. I mean,
oh, that's a no, guys. I tried it because Vildrax is around the time with Hydra. So I was like, all right, we'll try it against the Head of Mischief with Hex, and it just, I regret that. Don't do it, guys.
There's so many good champions here, but like, I want to set the bar high, you know, for these videos. So, you know, I love Nizana. I love Gorlos. I think Tarshan's pretty good. Padma's very good. Skimfos is kind of fun to play around with as well. Akoth is good, but I don't necessarily think they're like, drop everything and max this champion 100% right away. Do you disagree on any of those?
No, I think that sounds about right. The one I was going to ask, I think you and I talked about Tanix before, though, possibly for Hydra. But I don't know if she really, if that's 60 worthy, though.
Yeah, for me, you can use her not, like, to your point, you can use her at level 50 as a healer because it comes off the A1. She's not a bad champion, but, you know, it depends on what you need, right? And this is like, it should be a disclaimer at the top of the video, every video, but it depends on your account. If you need a dependable, you know, decreased attack champion, she has on the A3, then yeah, sure, go for Nizana, right? If you need a good support champion, go for Padma, right? So I think that it really depends on what you need, what you're looking for. But yeah, I guess those are my only go-tos. I think Gorlos would probably be the closest for me.
Ooh, I don't think I have that guy. Or if I have, I haven't done anything with him. What do you use him for?
It's nice because he's a decreased defense champion on 3-turn cooldown. But he also brings HP burn and decreased accuracy and a lot of damage. So he's kind of multifaceted, multi-dimensional, you know? He
fills the turn meter there too?
Yeah, he has turn meter fill on his A3 and his A1. So I think he's actually a really cool champion.
Interesting, okay.
All right, let's move on then to, actually, I don't want to forget the rares, Layla. They won't let us down.
Nah, guys, rares? We can't forget Fellhound. I feel like we got to mention him because someone's going to yell at us for not talking about the campaign farmer Fellhound.
You know what? You're right, though.
Absolutely.
Do you use Fellhound?
I have to. He actually is my campaign farmer, yeah.
What? But I didn't even ask anything yet.
I switched from a legendary, who we'll talk about in a couple of factions, to Fellhound, and it was a massive improvement for me, aka like 1 or 2 seconds, but that adds up, you know.
It does add up after a period of time, yeah.
Exactly. So you wouldn't, what do you got against Hell Hades? You wouldn't max his champion?
Say I wouldn't. Would you?
Of course. I love Hell Hades.
Of course. You love Hell Hades.
No, I'm just joking. Hellfreak's actually a really crappy champion. Yeah, nobody else here.
Hell Hades, you didn't really say that.
Okay. Undead Horde.
Oh, man.
You can go first.
Okay, we're going to start at the commons then. We have to go down to the commons. We got to talk about my boy Death Knight, guys. I feel like this guy has just been...
Layla loves Death Knight,
This guy has just been done wrong. He's in all the commercials.
Death Knight is good for food, I guess. Wow, that's just... Look, I didn't ask to get summoned, okay? What? You think this is easy? Can we cut?
Guys, don't 60 him, okay? I just have to mention it because my viewers will be like, how dare you not talk about Death Knight?
What about my
So I had to pick him up for a second.
What about Death Hound, though? Do you like his dog or not? His
pup?
dog is actually really cool. He has ignore shield and block damage on his A1 and all of the enemy's defense if the attack is critical. And then he has a poison, no big deal, on his A2. You can basically just shut off. I mean, it's on 2-turn cooldown, so he just goes boom, 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 boom. He's not really good, but he's fun to play around with. I actually maxed him out.
Yep, some of those champs are fun. Like I said, Death Knight's just fun to play around with, whatever. But guys, no, don't 60 him. You might see me do that, but I do things for memes. Don't do it, okay?
You have like 4 of them max, right? Am I making that up?
I have 12.
Okay, that's a little excessive, Layla.
Well, it's for 3v3. I told you that. It was for fun for 3v3.
Oh, yeah, it's for 3v3. Any Undead Horde rares that you would max out, no questions asked?
Oh, definitely. So we actually have quite a few in here. I feel like both Banshee sisters, but let's go with Frozen Banshee. I think she'll be the first one we'll start with.
The Frozen Banshee.
So, yes. So for me, what's interesting with her is when I first started, she was really useful for me because of her aura in particular, is I had a really hard time getting the accuracy that I needed on Clan Boss. And this was before like the perception gear even came out, right? So people forget that she's got that accuracy aura on her. On top of having like the poison sensitivities, I feel like she's just still a pretty useful champ if you're looking for poisons in Clan Boss and you want something dependable.
Absolutely. She was the first champion ever add to the game with poison sensitivity. So I think a lot of people, just for that reason alone, have her maxed out already if they pulled her in that time.
Right.
Okay, do you want to go next on the, can you go with the rares?
Yeah, I mean, how about Banshee? Regular Banshee. I know we've talked about her. I actually really like her.
She is really good. I'm gonna do a guide on her, I think, next week. You know?
Nice.
Maybe you can come on and join me. I don't know. You're welcome. We got
sure,
AoE, decreased defense on the A1.
I mean, how can you not love that? It's A1.
AoE on the A2. And then
you know what I mean? How do you not love
it? With block active skills. So you would max her no questions asked?
I feel like she could be useful. Now, as far as the no questions asked, though, again, like we talk about, it's so situational. But I just love the AoE on the A1 and the A2. I feel like that can just be so useful in so many different areas. So I think she's definitely underrated. People a lot of times just don't think of her. I think when it comes to the undead rares, people only ever look at Frozen Banshee and that's it. Like they forget that there are some other ones that are pretty good too.
Yeah, absolutely. What about Corpulent Cadaver? Like this guy?
I think if you're not trying to make that fun clan boss comp, then probably not. You know, I feel like you need him for that. Otherwise, probably no.
So for me, I am trying to make that fun clan boss
comp. So then
the
you
best
do.
in the world. He's on the best clan boss team in the entire world.
Yep.
So for that reason alone, I would at least hold on to him. You know, like if you're not interested in making the team,
lock them.
You can go to deadwoodjedi.com. Deadwood Jedi is like our favorite content creator, Layla and I. So yeah, go to his website, check out all the teams. You can build the best team in the world if you have Corpulent Cadaver. Okay, is there anybody else that I'm forgetting here?
I think maybe the last one I kind of want to at least give an honorable mention to is maybe Grinner. The one who's always just so happy to see us, right? Because again, so in this faction's lacking a little bit of revive.
Hi, baby girl.
Vibes, right? So what do you got? You got Gore Grab, you got Siffy, and you got this dude. And if you're not lucky enough to get a Siffy, and if you're like me and you're not lucky enough to get a Gore Grab, you got this guy at least that has some kind of revive in there, especially if you need some help in faction wars. So is he 60 worthy? Again, it's dependent, but I think he deserves an honorable mention for the fact that that is another reviver in this faction.
You're right. He is the forgotten reviver, and he's actually solid. I totally agree with you. He's Force Affinity, reviver, 4-turn cooldown, with a lot, like his base stats, you can't see because Layla's in the way, guys, but maybe lovely Osama, our editor, will put it on the screen. But 110 base speed, 1134 base defense, so he's easy to keep alive and he's fast, right? Fast with a lot of support, or revive at least. So I think he's a pretty good champion. Again, can totally run him at level 50 though, you know?
Yeah. I just want to give an honorable mention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable mention to Doomscreech and Seducer too. They're both solid as well. Okay. It is epic time. Go first, Layla.
Okay, so I feel like Gore Grab. Who I don't have.
You love
Who I
Gore
don't
Grab.
have. I know, man. I know we kind of touched about this a little earlier too.
Or is it Magnar? Magnar.
Actually, I want Magnar. I don't have Buren Geary either. I could really use the two of them.
Don't worry about it. It's Magnar. That's all you need.
I know. I want Magnar.
Okay, so why do you like Gorgo so bad?
I mean, again, so we have revive all allies. Again, we're talking arena, and I'm also trying to think too is that a lot of people are struggling right now in arena too to try to even do the arbiter missions. We're kind of at that really terrible cycle again where people are having a really, really hard time. So if you are fortunate enough to at least get this guy, I feel like you probably got to 60 him and you got to toss him in arena. Like you're going to need his help with the speed lead that he has. The speed lead aura there as well too. On top of reviving all of them, it's just I feel like he's so much more needed now almost because people are struggling so much more if you can get him.
Yeah, like not to make caveats in the video, but I think that he's an automatic max if you don't have arbiter, you know, or a good reviver / speed lead for the arena. I'm gonna go with just the obvious. I think probably the most obvious, at least in my opinion, that's Mausoleum Mage, man. I think that the mage is insane. A lot of people forget that he also brings decreased speed on his A1. On his A2, you're looking increased defense, crit rate, and block debuffs on a 3-turn cooldown. And then, as if his kit couldn't get any better, guys, he's got the cleanse and the great heal. Are you kidding me? So he cleanses, he heals, he fills turn meter, decreased speed, increased defense, block debuffs, and increased crit rate with 104 speed, decent base stats. Man, Mausoleum Mage is really good.
Yep, and I agree with you on the A1. I'm such a fan of champs that have decreased speed, turn meter controls. You know, like we have the AoE, like decreased defense. Like I'm such a fan of champs that have all these different kind of abilities on their A1. Like that's just a big deal to have.
Totally agree. So good against bosses, you know? Like you got decreased speed built in there and it's such a powerful debuff to have. All right, who next?
I think Seeker a lot of times. I really like Seeker.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously if you guys are going to be doing, you know, a Bat Eater or something like that clan boss, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like you have to 60 him. But not to mention too, even if you just use him in arena with his provokes, You see that? He's trying to look like Seeker here.
Sorry, he was eating my head off over here.
If you end up needing him for CC, like crowd control, like I still use him even in faction wars as well too for his provoke. All that's so important, whether it's an arena, faction wars, clan boss. I love all that.
Yeah, I love his flexibility, you know, like to your point. Great in clan boss, great as a speed booster with the extra turn to CC on the A1. And he's great on a go second team with his passive, you know, the increased defense on all allies when you hit with a critical hit. It's really, really cool. And he has the defense in arena battles by 30% or a lead. So a lot of flexibility, very, very cool champion. I'm going to go with, I mean, man, there's a few good ones still left, right? If I was just drafting them, I would go Vogoth next. Because I think the Vogoth is nasty good. Like, one of the best support champions in the game.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Triple hitter A1. Nice for Fire Knight, nice for Giant Slayer. He has AoE provoke. He has decrease attack as well, who receive the provoke. So great ability on 3-turn cooldown. And then one passive that basically heals just insanely on the first pass, 50% of the damage received. And then on the second passive, puts a leech on the attacker every time he's attacked. So, I mean, what else do you want from a healer, support, CC champion? Love Vogoth.
Yep, he's great. And I know you did a video with him too in curing, just to kind of show how he did with the set. So I remember that too. Yeah, he's
I run him in the curing set and use him in the arena, and just insane, like almost complete heals going on with the curing. Okay, so next up.
Let's see. I feel like these days, like Husk has really started to shine a bit too because of Hydra. Just in general, he really has. Like, I think for a while people maybe weren't giving him too much attention, but recently, so much more.
Absolutely. He's got the stun and enemy max
HP, AoE stun. That's AoE stun too. You know, again, talking about all that.
I mean,
love it.
What more is there to say about him? He's HP based too, so it's kind of a cool champion. It's weird that as A1 is attack, but whatever. Yeah, cool. I agree with you 100%. I'm gonna go with, let's see. I think the only other one that I would go with, no questions asked, would be Dark Elhain.
Dark Elhain. Yep.
I love her. She's just really cool to use either on Ice Golem, Frost Spider, or against Torment teams in the arena, because you can put her in, I've probably said this 100 times on the channel, I apologize for my regular viewers, but it bears repeating for new viewers. You can put her in attack percentage boots, use her very slow, but optimize her to be an absolute just wrecking ball of a nuker. And then you don't care about her turn meter so much because it's instantly going to be activated anytime an ally receives a freeze. And then she's going to strip the freezes off herself, replace them with all these buffs. So really, she can nuke without even taking a turn, essentially, as long as somebody's frozen on your team. So she can do some really incredible things. So I really love her. Kind of a niche champion in that regard, but I still really love her because there's a lot of freezing enemies out there in the game, in the arena.
Yep, and she's a bit underrated like we talked about before, but she definitely shines when you know how to use her. So I agree. We talk about her all the time, just in different reasons, but
we do. All right, so is there anybody that you have that I haven't mentioned?
No, I can't. I don't think there's anybody else here I would really... What about Anax, actually? What about our dude Anax?
I'm not a massive Anax guy, but people like him for clan boss, right?
Yeah, so I was going to say is it probably really depends, you know, what you're using him for. But yeah, like if you're looking at putting him in a clan boss comp, then definitely. He's an interesting champ. I'll give him that. He was a cool one to add in.
Yeah, I'm not sure, no questions asked, but I mean, personally, but I think he's a solid champ. Catacomb Consular, if you're looking for an ally attack, you know, champion that you don't have Farker and the Fat or all the other champions, then he's a good option there. Let's go to legendaries, though. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff.
I know. Geez, where do we start? Oh my God.
Lead the way, Layla.
Want me to go? Oh my God. Okay, we're going to go right to left. How about Mashalad? Well, we'll switch it up a little bit. We'll go right to left this time.
You call him Mashalad? I call him Mashald.
I don't know. Mashalad, I don't know. Potato, guys.
I just want to give our viewers some fodder here to debate in the comments.
I mean, everybody knows. Everyone calls him my salad, right? My salad. That's what everybody really calls him.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
But this ability, Tornado, it's probably one of the most powerful in the game, you know? Not even being hyperbolic there. Increased speed, crit damage, true fear, and leech on all enemies. Grant an extra turn. What? Okay. Yeah. Very, very good. All right, I'm going to go with BEK Kella, Bad El Khazar.
Bad El Khazar.
I mean, I always think of Chosen Brad when I, Chofly Elite when I see this champion. Do you? Because of his avatar?
Of course. That's basically that.
It's basically Chosen. Chosen, what's up? Thanks for joining us on this collab, Chosen. How you doing, man? Well, I have a database here that says that. Okay, what do you think? one of the best
no
champions out
questions
there.
asked on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, no questions asked. I have him on the alt. I keep trying to get him on the main, and I can't.
This Malice, again, like, not to use the same exact, thing that I just said on my salad or whatever, but this Malice ability is still obviously one of the most powerful as well. You got the cleanse, continuous heals, and poisons. What?
Yeah, he's insane. He's such a good champ.
Has that nice passive too. Okay, Chosen, we love you. Who we have next?
We do. We love you, buddy. Siffy. Go for my girl, Siffy.
Siffy, the Lost Bride. You did
Of
some
course,
cosplay,
my girl.
Siffy. Osama put it on the screen. Very nice.
Yes, I
Very
did.
nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
So is Siffy your favorite Void Legendary?
No, actually, Yumeko is, but I might be biased because she is a fox. So I might be biased there.
This is true.
But
This is
they're
true.
both my girls. They're both my girls.
Tamisha, is she up there? Because she's a fox, right?
She's a fox too, but I don't know. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, we know that she's a really, really good damage dealer.
Yes.
But
okay.
Yumeko, like, man, I don't know. Yumeko is she's like on a league of her own.
She is really cool. All right, so she revives. She does everything in the world on her A2. Any other comments on Siffy? Why you love her?
Just that everybody loves her, and when you get her, you 60 her. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. Basically, it's in the rule book.
Come on, guys. That's a no-brainer. You have to.
I'll go with Nekret the Great, just keeping it going here with OP champions all over the place. I love Nekret. Ally attack all over the place. Ally protect all over the place. He has block. My favorite part of him, though, like, there's so much good to talk about here, but to keep it brief.
So much.
I really love this ability, Arise My Minions. Block debuff, strengthen, and ally protect for 6 turns at the start of each turn. At the start of, like, the round, excuse me. So that's happening before anybody else goes. The ally protect cannot be removed. Just so good. Overall, just a really good support champion.
Agreed. And it's so good to point out that I think he was one of the more recent ones that only takes 7 books to book him, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
Considering, you know how greedy sometimes it feels, where you have to have so many books in these champs. He's like 7, I think, right?
You're right.
Yeah, which is really good. It's ridiculous
6,
for how good he
6.
is. Is it 6? Okay, I knew it was like 6 or 7 or something like that. It's
Dude,
ridiculous.
That's noteworthy there. They don't make them like that anymore, I feel like.
Not anymore, no.
All right, who you got next?
My boy Rhodos. I can't do Siffy without Rhodos. Come on, man.
Where are you, Rhodos? Yep, there he is.
There we go.
Your lost groom. So they
Also
recently...
known as Ash. You guys voted for that.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I did not dress up like him, but we did vote for that. So why do you like Rhodos?
I mean, why not? My God. So there we go. Like the unkillable block damage, vitality, not to mention when you pair him and Siffy together. Man, it's ridiculous. He just he can just keep going and going out. So this guy, I have him in Relentless, and I love him in Arena like that because he pretty much can just wreck whole teams by himself.
Absolutely, as I just experienced. So Rhodos is very... You know what? He's cool though because they make these single target damage dealers. I'm sure the viewers will empathize here. When they make them, most of the time they just don't land. It's like, oh yeah, another single target nuker. But Rhodos breaks the mold there. He's unique enough. He brings enough to the table to justify using him in a lot of areas. So totally agree with you there. I'm gonna go with Nethril. Nethril, a very, very cool champion, very strong, maybe a little underrated. I would like to see them buff his speed a little bit. They have shown the inclination to do that. He's great even with a 94 speed, but 94 speed and less than 1,000 defense are a little weak for a legendary. However, he's really, really good. He's got triple hitter poison on the A1. He's got AoE stun on the A2 and AoE decreased turn meter 75%. On Bat Swarm, he is the king of poison and control, you know?
Yeah, he's a really, really good one to have. I agree with that. Let me see. Next one for me, I guess let's go with Harvest Jack. I really like Harvest Jack.
Ooh.
Oh, he's such a good one. I use him in Faction Wars. He's just really cool looking. Yeah, they did a really, really good job with this guy. And yeah, so I use him in Faction Wars because like I said a lot of times too, you need crowd control. And he's just so good for CC with his fears. He's just such a good champ. Decreased speed. I mean,
I don't have him, Layla. I don't have him.
I saw that. I know. I saw that.
I really want Harvest Jack. Yeah, he's pretty cool for HP best champion too. Okay, I will go with Uros the Soul Cage. This guy is a monster. He's a Doom Tower champion, so I think that everybody who ever unlocks him, though, they're gonna build him because he can solo Doom Tower bosses, you know? He's a solo king. You just put him in regen and immortal, then he places the poisons off his passive. You just sit back, go back to your device, and the level's complete 5 minutes, 10 minutes later. So, I mean, he's just so useful for that alone. The rest of his kit's not bad, too. Ally Protect, Strengthen on 3-turn cooldown. But yeah, man, he's really, really good, especially for just the solo ability that he has.
Yep,
Little,
I agree.
green,
and he was a
green
very
fella.
interesting looking one too. So they brought him, they brought Akoth, and then Ryan the Conjurer. And I know they all have like this synergistic ability together too. With Ryan
and they kind of look the same.
Yeah.
Akoth.
They do.
You know?
They did that on purpose, like these elemental type ones, right? To go with Ryan the Conjurer. It's kind of cool. I think that was neat when they did that.
I agree. Okay, so anybody else?
I'm thinking since they buffed Crypt King. Crypt King's kind of like a 60 now. Before, I think it was questionable for people. I don't have him either. But now it feels like he's needed. Like, if you get him, he's a 60 because of what they've done with him. He's so much better now.
Where did they just buff again on him? Was it the multipliers or was it the cooldown? I forgot. I don't have him, so I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But
I know. I don't have him either. But I feel like it has to do with his A1 as well, too. And the HP burns. So now he's really useful in Spider, for example.
I mean, extends duration of any HP burn debuff to 3 turns. Cannot be resisted. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah, I really want him as well. Good call out there.
Yeah, I don't have him.
I'm going to go with a champion that... I would max Gartorsis, no question. He also just received a buff. He has 109 speed, over 20k HP, 1400 defense, so really good base stats. An AoE with a buff steal on the A1. On the A2, increased attack, increased crit rate. And on the A3, he's got a cleanse and a heal and turn meter increase on a 4-turn. I believe they took this from a 7 to a 6. I could be wrong there. But either way, I think he's a really solid support champion now. I actually use him on my main Ice Golem team because he can keep the team alive very, very well. And the affinity is correct being 4. So I actually like Scartorsis a lot now. He has speed in dungeons by 33% as well as an aura.
Yeah, I don't have this guy, but I could definitely see that, especially with the buff.
Yeah, anybody else here?
Okay, so I know Vlad is newer, and some people might disagree with me in the comments. No, actually, like I have so many people tell me, Layla, 60 him, he hits like a truck, and I'm like, I can't. I don't know. I'm just not.
So you don't like Vlad?
No, I was gonna say that I figure people would disagree with me. There might be people in the comments who actually really do like him and want to 60 him. I have not. Like honestly, I think he's still in my portal.
Okay, well get a load of this. Get a load of this.
Tell me.
Maxed him. And I thought he was kind of average or so, you know.
Okay.
Not for a void below average is what I initially thought when I did the guide on him. But then I got his brother, his companion champion.
Oh, yeah. Constantine.
Constantine, right? The Daybord, yeah. So that actually made me play Vlad a lot more next to Constantine. And I have to say, Vlad outshined Constantine by far. So it made me kind of like Vlad a lot more than I did initially, you know, just by comparison. So, you know, he does hit hard. He's an AoE leech. His decreased defense, block active skills. I think that he's not, listen, he's not a no-brainer. I agree with you. But I think he's better than people might give him credit for. I have a couple more that I hate to prolong Undead Horde. But I think I would, no questions, suzerain because of Hydra Clan Boss, you know? You need 3 teams. You need 3 teams now, Layla, obviously, as you know. And AoE decreased speed on the A1. Really good.
Love it, yeah.
AoE,
yeah, I forgot about this guy.
It decreased defense and weaken, or weaken and then decrease defense if weaken's not placed. So I stand corrected on the A2. And then we have an AoE again on the A3. So an AoE on every ability, right? Bringing more to utility to the table as well. But all those AoEs against Hydra definitely can be helpful. And I just pulled and maxed out Blood Gorged. And let me tell you, he impresses me. I mean, yeah, like I wish I had maxed him out sooner. I don't necessarily use him all the time. But this Decapitate ability hits insanely hard. And ignored all defense and block revival. So like, and on his A2, he has put one of each target skills on cooldown. So for the arena, really, really useful there. It does a lot of damage on Raging Beast too. So his multipliers are insane. His damage is insane. And, you know, enemies with only one active ability, like a Battle Khazar or something, Valkyrie, you can just shut them down immediately.
Just block them. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would invest in him too. Saito, I think honorable mention for me, but I wouldn't automatically max him out. And Little Miss Annie, I just love her, but I probably wouldn't say she's an auto.
Yeah, and I think the last one we didn't talk about was Elagaius. Elagaius was interesting, but I don't necessarily think a 60. Initially, when Elagaius came out, kind of super useful in Doom Tower when you had the waves that were all identical. That was very useful. But as far as now, maybe not so much.
I hate Elagaius. I don't know why, but I just do.
All right, I'm gonna go cry.
Similar to you, I was just like, I was expecting a little bit more out of him, and I just can't get him to work. I'm just gonna be honest, you know, like.
I mean, she did work for me when I had her in there before.
Whoa,
And it's a she, by the way.
It's a she?
Yes, I did a lore story. She's a she. Basically, she's a high priestess that gave up her soul and turned into this.
I am a woman.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a
mind
story on
blown
her,
right
yeah.
now. Mind blown.
Yep.
It's a
Yep.
she. Okay. Wow.
She's a she, yes. Yeah, her lore story is on my YouTube.
Hey guys, it took you 45 minutes, but you learned something in the video. There it is. All right, well, we have one more faction, Layla. I like to kind of going from the bottom up. Why don't you,
Yeah, I think that works.
And no one here that you have,
No.
Okay.
No, nobody there. Nobody
But
there.
I do see a rare or two.
I know. Well, I feel like we have to talk about Coldheart.
Yes.
My God, people, well, like, how do you not talk about Coldheart? Obviously.
Yeah, she's amazing. What else is there to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, guys, what do we really need to say about Coldheart? I mean, unfortunately, it makes me sad when I have people come in my channel. They've been playing for 2 years and they still can't pull one, and I'm like, oh my God.
Didn't they at one point, or maybe if I can't think of the hundreds of Harriers I pulled, and to have people out there who haven't pulled a Coldheart.
I know. It's insane.
Didn't they make her a guaranteed at one point, or am I making
They
that up?
did. It was like 7 voids, I think. Guys, if you remember, you know, correct us, but I feel like it was out of 7 voids she was a guarantee. But I can't, like, I pull her all the time. I've seriously pulled like 20 of these. So I feel so bad when I have people on my channel, they're like, Layla, why do you keep pulling her? I can't get her. And I'm like, I don't know, I pull her all the time. It's like, once you pull them, you don't stop pulling them.
Yeah. So Coldheart for me is the only no questions asked, no brainer. I think that Kale, obviously, Painkeeper, and Judge are all pretty solid. You know, some people early game, Spirit Host, stuff like that as well. Anybody else here?
Nope, that's kind of it. And even like with Spirit Host, I know I had done before for people that kind of got stuck on, you know, some like the Doom Tower stuff. I mean, she can kind of help out. She can help out in Arena, just like early things. But as far as being a 60, you know, just again, kind of like an honorable mention for her.
I completely agree. Why don't you kick things off here in Epics?
Let's see. So what I do like here is Madam. How do we not talk about Madam Saris? Our girl, Madam.
You started with the most obvious, and I totally concur. Totally concur.
I don't think anybody could disagree with that. Arguably, probably one of the best, if not the best, arena kind of champs that we have. Just so good. And especially now that you could do the AI priorities with her and make sure she actually does what she's supposed to do. It opens correctly.
Yep.
You know,
that midnight ritual. Fantastic. It's always dependable. I love it. I remember when they nerfed her. They were like, they took it from a 5 to a 6 turn cooldown, and it's like nobody even cares because we just use her once in the arena.
That's all you need her to do.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So yeah, Madam Saris, totally agree with you. I'll go Sylar right next door. Sylar AoE, and not AoE, but basically decreased speed and turn meter 40% on a 4-turn cooldown. One of the better kind of control champions in the game.
Yep.
Can deal some damage as well. Great for Spider, especially progression. Just a really, really solid champion who I think that a lot of people, if you invest in her, they're always pleasantly surprised at or just like lives up to expectations.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, agreed. I think she's definitely one too. I agree.
Love Sylar. Who you got next?
Let me see. I feel like now Dark Hail's a newer one, so I feel like if you get him, he's a really good option to 60 now too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Such a good champ.
I
oh my
agree.
gosh, yeah.
Instant activation, AoE decrease attack, extending the duration of debuffs by 1 turn. This is a great ability. And then he has what, 3 poisons and poison sensitivity on a 3-turn cooldown.
Yes.
Very,
so now we have another poison sensitivity champ because we talked about that before with Frozen Banshee. Like there's only a couple in the game. So now we got him too.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you there. I'm tempted to say Captain Tamila. I really, really love this champion. I just put out a guide on her. Either that or it's coming tomorrow, guys. I'm not sure which order I'm going to upload these videos, but I pulled her. I looked at her kit for the 100th time probably. It's been a while, right? And I'm like, wait a second. She's really good. She's an HP-based champion. She's got increased defense, heals based on her HP, which, again, HP-based champion. So 15% heal can actually be like 50% of their HP of your allies if you build her with enough HP, you know, or with all the heal bonuses and the masteries. And then she has Ally Protect on a 4-turn cooldown as well. I mean, you get Ally Protect, you get increased defense, and you get a great heal. So I think that Captain Tamila is actually a pretty underrated, really good support champion, you know? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely underrated for sure. Definitely underrated. I can tell you I don't have her as a 60. at all. Like I really hadn't even thought about it with her.
No
so
one
it is
thinks
very
about it.
interesting to say that. Yeah, I know. So I'm curious what you guys think too. What do you guys think? Have you done anything with her?
I think it depends, really. Like with all
Yeah,
these champions,
as
it
always.
depends on where
As
you are in the
always.
game. You know, like if you're
Yeah.
late game, you're probably not, maxing her. But if you're in progression, I think she's great. Who else we got?
Kaden, I feel like is maybe I at least want to mention him, right? Because again, we talk about revivers, right? And so we do have him as a reviver. I want to say mine is 50 and it works out okay.
Yeah.
But again, depending on where you're at, he's a consideration as well too.
I agree. Good reviver option there. I'm going to say Ryan the Conjurer.
Ryan Conjurer.
For me. And she's got a little bit of Madame Sarah's going on in this ability. Instead of decreased attack and weaken, or decreased defense and decreased attack, excuse me. She has the weaken instead. It is on a 3-turn cooldown. So really nice. Removes all buffs. You can use her in the arena. And then she has revival as well. So I think it's, fairly straightforward kit. She does have synergies with Akoth and Uros, as you mentioned earlier. But I would definitely max her out.
And I'm curious if anybody actually has tried running her with the other two.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know your experience. I have. And
yeah, if you guys have.
I wasn't like super blown away, but I didn't try that much, Let's see. Who else?
What about Luria? Do we think Luria?
I'm not supposed to be here.
Luria. Ha!
I know, they're all like the same, right?
She's got the AoE with 75% freeze with a deny revival. It's a pretty good ability there, Layla.
That's what I'm wondering. She might be. She definitely could possibly be a consideration, depending on what you're using.
Yeah, I kind of like the outfit too. I like the one leg not fishnets and one leg fishnets. It's an interesting look.
Yeah, they did an interesting design with her, yeah.
Like
actually, some of the other elves were like that too. I think like Captain Samila, Crimson Helm, I think some of them have that kind of going on too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, see?
Wow, how about that? Wait.
How about that?
Look at that, Layla. Wow.
Layla knows fashion.
You really do. Gee. I'm going to give a shout out to Visionary. She's not an auto, no questions asked, but I actually really like this champion. AoE, decreased crit rate and crit damage. Okay. On the A2. On the A3, we have increased crit rate and crit damage and turn meter fill. Again, it's kind of a weird kit. We don't have a champion like her, but it's nice to have AoEs with increase and decrease crit damage, crit rate. But now that I see her again, I'm like, yeah, definitely not an auto. Not no questions asked. Anybody that we're missing here?
I don't know. I can't really think of anybody else if there's really anyone else here that I would 60. I mean, I think we went through most of them except for Therasak and Gwyneth. And of course, Spider and Fang Cleric, those guys we haven't talked about, but. So this one's interesting, right? Oh, look at that. What was the scores on her? 4s? Almost 5s?
Yeah, they like her. The people like her.
Interesting.
Yeah, she has decreased resistance, which makes her unique,
Yeah, she's unique. They started adding some of these newer abilities in there like we were talking about before. Resistance is a newer thing they're doing.
She's cool because she's like got a single target nuker who deals, like, if I remember correctly, Dress Down has really good multipliers. And then she has that passive that does more damage against targets with lower resist. So kind of a unique champion to say the least,
And she is creepy looking. She's got like this Joker Loki thing going on.
She does. She really does.
She does. She's creepy looking.
I will say that Gwyneth. I think she's also a very, very good champion. People are just unlocking her for the first time now in the game. She has an AoE on the A1 will not trigger counterattacks. Kind of interesting there. On her A2, she has weaken with a heal, a surplus heal onto allies. So this can actually be a really good heal onto allies as well. Whenever you see surplus in this game, Layla, for me at least, it's kind of like a little bit of a, not automatic, but usually like Draco Morph and stuff like that. You think it's going to be a lot of damage. Baron, another one. And then transfers all debuffs from this champion to one enemy, then attacks them, ignores 10% of target's defense for each debuff they are under. So Flow of Malaise there has a lot of a good multipliers, if I remember correctly, as well. I don't know. What do you think? She's an auto, though?
I don't know if she's an auto 60, though, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right.
Maybe honorable mention?
Right. Yeah, honorable mention Lua, too. All right. Who we got next?
I think that's it. Oh my gosh, definitely legendaries. Oh man, where do we start on legendaries, guys?
They're so good.
Ray. Let's start with Ray.
Okay. Boom.
There we go. Our girl Ray. Oh my gosh. I mean, what's not to love about her? Right there, A1. Again, like I said, I'm such a fan of champs that have these AoE. She got AoE decreased defense. I mean, she can hit like a truck. How do you not love Ray?
Yeah, AoE on every single ability. She got the freeze. She got the, extra damage. She's really, really solid. I agree. Let's see. I'm just trying to pick my fave. My fave is Lydia.
Most obvious here.
Yeah. So my favorite, most obvious, is Lydia. I think that, Siren's Wail, kind of like Sify, kind of like Mashald, kind of like Battle Khazar. One of the best abilities in the game, right? Like Valkyrie, like these are the abilities I think of. Decrease defense, weaken, increase speed, and strengthen. Okay, on a 3-turn cooldown. And then the passive denial of revivals and revivals. She's just a really good champion. To me, she's the perfect reward for finishing all the faction wars.
Yes, that's really no brainer. You get her, she's 60.
Yep.
Like there's just no questions about it. It's
no questions. Just everybody who gets her maxes her. That's it.
No questions asked.
You're up.
I would go with Vizix. Now that they buffed her and they made her better, I really, really like her, especially if you're using her in faction wars. She's 10 times better than she used to be. With her ally protect, right there. Yep. AoE, we got the decreased speed there. Ally protect. You can just make her just so tanky. Her provokes, she's so much better. I definitely think a 60 for her.
She is like just such a carry, isn't she? I mean,
yeah, she is.
AoE
she's such a carry. I agree.
AoE provoke, AoE ally protect, both on 3 turns. That's really, really cool. So yeah, I agree with you 100% there. I'll go Mithrala. She is the champion that I'm close to getting her. Are you kind of close or no?
Ooh. No, I'm nowhere near her.
Okay, I'll do a guide when I get her eventually, but she seems really, really cool. She has a poison on the A1, AoE Hex, increased defense, and increased attack on a 3-turn cooldown. Defense-based champion. She's very fast, 109 base speed, 20k HP. Yep. And then a cleanse with strengthen and shield on a 3-turn on her A3. Wow. And then whenever she's attacked by a champion under Hex, has petrification debuff on the attacker, which basically stuns it. Almost takes away 2 turns.
Yes, it does.
Wow, she's really, really, really good.
And she looks so cool.
She?
Like they did such a good job. Guys, she's my Halloween cosplay this year. I can't wait.
Oh, I was just going to ask you.
Yes, everyone's, as soon as she was released in the game, I had so many people like, Layla, please, for Halloween. And I'm like, all right. So I'm already envisioning how I'm gonna do it, but that'll be for Halloween this year.
You're up.
Oh boy, let's see. I love Foley.
Okay.
I should like Arena. I love our dude Foley. Block revives. He's just so good in Arena.
He's so cool looking.
He looks cool too. He is cool looking.
Was he given to a creator for free? Was there a drama, a scandal around him? Was he based on a creator? He was based on somebody, right?
I feel like he's based on somebody, but I don't know the story. I wasn't around for it. Yeah, I know that there's something with the guys. Tell us. I want to know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna make up a story that I think might be true in my head, but I think a Russian content creator won a contest and they made a champion after him. I have no idea if that's true, but that's what I think.
It's a made-up tale.
Yeah, I mean, still Fate, and then he has a 15-time hitter on his A2 or 4.
I mean, he's just solid. He's just such a good champ. He's solid.
A 4-time hitter and a 4-time hitter is really cool to have in a kit, and then this Sealed Fate, what he's known for the arena as well. Yep. Very cool. I agree with you there. I'm gonna go Ghostborn. Ghostborn, very cool. Can deal a lot of damage because you can build him out to be an insane nuker because his debuff cannot be resisted. You don't need to worry about accuracy, just focus on making him a nuker or support or whatever you want to build him. But he is the only champion in the game who can place decreased defense without it being resisted.
Yes, I have him. So I'm trying to rebuild my Fire Knight 25 to have him in it. But that's the idea. Definitely 60, no brainer for him.
Yep. Okay. Wow, we're home stretch here, Layla.
I know, home stretch. Zavia.
Yeah.
I love our girl Zavia. I don't have her either. I saw you don't have her.
I was going to say something. All right.
I know, I don't have her.
Deadly Catalyst, right? The poison bomb. Boom.
Love it.
Very, very, very good champion. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go with Queen Ava was my old campaign farmer, but now, no thank you.
Now you got the dog.
No. Vizier's interesting. It all depends on if you're going to use him for clan boss, right? Or if you're going to use him for Bommel. I think that he's mostly used for Bommel and clan boss. That's where I see him most used.
Right.
Do you have him? How do you feel about him?
I don't either, but it seems like, he seems to be so much more of like an older school clan boss kind of champ now. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people really use him anymore there.
Yeah, he's he's not really meta anymore. Like he was back in the day where if you had him, like if we were doing this video 2 years ago, Layla. Yeah.
Automatic,
It depends on what your clan boss strategy is, what your Bommel strategy is. But if you need him for those areas, definitely a no-brainer. I guess I'll go with
I know we look at a couple left here.
The 3 names of Atlanticus, Blind Seer, and Rule. or Raul or Ruel.
Ruel. I call him Ruel. I don't know. Does it really matter?
I did a whole guide on him, Layla, and I called him Raul. Like, that's his name.
Raul.
Everybody in the comments were like, Ash, Raul, bro.
Guys, you know, okay? We are the king and queen of butchering names. You guys know this, okay? It happens.
Listen, I'm not going to say he's an auto. If Hex, they're trying to force Hex down our throats.
I know, they are.
If it ever becomes a real thing, he might be an auto because he deals some damage, this dude. Like, he nukes. That was the coolest thing for me about him is like, wow, he really is a nuker. What about you? Is there anybody that I'm missing? If not, how do you feel about Lanicus and Blind Seer?
I can tell you, I don't have either of them. Okay. I have neither of them.
So Lanicus, I would only max her if I didn't have Krila Witch Arm. I think a little bit of a superior. They're different. They're different. She brings a lot. She brings this to the table. Extra turn on the A3, which can lead her into basically putting this on a 3-turn cooldown with turn meter fill of all allies on her ally attack and increased buff to. You know what? All right, talking me into it, Lanicus. Auto. I like Krila a little bit better, but Lanicus is actually really good. She's reminding me right now. She's very fast too, 108 base speed. So I would say yes on Lanicus. Blind Seer, the fastest champion in the game, or tied, I believe, 115 base speed. I would say she's an auto too. She's got this good revival on 5-turn cooldown.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, block damage.
Yeah.
And then she's got a block debuffs and a shield on her A2. Block debuffs and a shield on a 3-turn cooldown. And then I think turn meter? Yeah, turn meter on a 3-time hitter on her A1. So, I mean, just a really good support champion. It's hard to say that you wouldn't max her if you pulled her. Right. But that would be my list. That's everybody, I think, for this video.
I think we got them all. At least for these 3 factions, right? Phew, I told you guys 3.
Right over an hour, Layla. Listen, to all my viewers who are still watching after an hour of us chatting, you're the real MVPs. We love you guys, not those fair weather fans who left after 10 minutes. We love you guys. Seriously appreciate you guys watching until the end. Layla, any parting words here? Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. So guys, stay tuned for part 4, which is Night Revenants, Dwarf, and Shadowkin. And after we do that video, Ash is going to be joining me on my channel for something, we could dare call it fun? I don't call it fun.
I think it's going to be a blast. I think it's going to be a blast.
I think they're going to like it. Yeah, so we'll have something fun coming up when we do part 4 as well on my channel too.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. Make sure you give Layla all the support in the world. All of her stuff will be linked in the show notes below. Layla, thanks again. You guys, thanks again. And as always, take care, guys.
Bye, guys.